wait a minute. You know what? The defense actually, they have not dealt with Steyn the way they need to deal with Steyn. Steyn need to be exposed. Steyn lied, blatantly lied, right? Straight into our faces. But, give me time. I want to show you something. Something very, 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 very important, right? Now, let's start here. We're going to talk about the PDF. We're going to talk about the app, the PDF format, the PDF from Vodacom, right? And then we're going to talk about the app. Remember, Steyn says they have got their own app, right? It is the app that lied. It is the app that, hey, guys, this is very interesting. And I wish the defense can ask this question, or one of the defense can ask this question, because these questions will give more clarity as to what, why. But wait, relax. God. Okay. Think of it this way. Think of it like this. Steyn, or Advocate Mgomezulu and Advocate Ramsipile, have already gotten Steyn or pushed him to the point where he confessed. I saw somebody says, but your title is misleading. He confessed what? He confessed when he said, the PDF from Vodacom cannot be tampered with. The PDF from Vodacom cannot be tampered with. That means the tampering happens with the South African Police Service. But remember, Mohola told us that he took the cell phone somewhere at Middelburg. Why? Because there is TSU. TSU is a department that belongs to the South African Police Service. These are people who are in charge of dealing with the technical aspect of things. The abbreviation is TSU, but basically they are technical support unit. They deal with the technical aspect of things, technological aspect. In other words, in a company, they will be called the IT department. So there are the IT department that belongs to the South African Police Service. With that being said, take a look at this. Okay. Hey, this is very interesting. Steyn told us that he used a system, an app, and in that he said, he gives us the idea that the app given or coming from the South African Police Service is much more accurate than Vodacom. The first question right there is, why do you need the Section 02 from Vodacom if the South African Police Service has got an accurate app that is more accurate than Vodacom Section 205? That's something that the defense needs to establish right now. Wait, I need to establish this with you. Guys, you need to subscribe, like the video, comment in the comment section below. Why? Because doing all these things, it is free of charge. You look to comment, it is free of charge. To like the video, it is free of charge. To share this video with more people, it is also free of charge. So if doing all these things is free of charge, obviously you pay if you donate. But the good thing is that you can donate from as little as 20 Rand a month using the Super Thanks button. You can also join, become a member of this YouTube channel. That's also part and parcel of helping this YouTube channel. You can also decide that, you know what, let me just put some money here, right, using the banking details. Okay, with that being said, now come back. So Steyn gives us the idea, or portrayed an idea, that the South African Police Service has got a better system, a better app, a better software. If that's the case, then why do you need the Vodacom Section 205? Or why do you need Section 205? Let me be an advocate's devil here and say you need the Section 205 so that you can trigger this thing, right? You can trigger the, what is it called? You can trigger this thing, I forgot the name of this thing. You can trigger this whole thing, yeah. You can trigger this whole thing, app, look, their app, Because let me say then, they need a certain information for their app to take this information. Then listen to this one. So you need to put on some information in the app, so that once you have put that information, now this process, according to Steyn, will be the TSU, Technical Support Unit, that will take the 205 from Vodacom and then break it down and put it in an Excel format so it can suit the system, their system, right? So once they have done that, then the system then is able to, or you are able to kickstart the system so it can give you the accurate information that Steyn is looking for. If that's the case, then you have to ask yourself a question. So, we've already asked the first question. Why do you need Section 205? If you've got an accurate app, one that you are praising, saying it is superior than Vodacom Section 205, why do you need this one? Why? How is it that the South African Police Service did not get their own system certified, so much so that it avoid this? But then, right, on the second one, the questions that I probably wish the defense can ask them is that once you have established this first one, why do you need the Section 205? Then you come for the app, the system that Colonel Steyn says they are using. And then you ask the question. Because in my previous video, I said that I bought this phone, right? I bought this phone. This is Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. The price I pay for this phone is much higher than your iPhone 15 Pro Max. So in this phone, the reason I bought this phone is because, remember that I said that it's because the fixtures here are much more advanced than iPhone. Okay, we said no problem. Remember in my previous video, I said, for us to have this latest phone, it must have been approved by SAPS. It's called, let me read this one. It's called South African Bureau Standard. Their responsibility is to deal with quality. Do you remember? I'm referring you to the previous video. So their responsibility is to deal with quality. So once they've dealt with quality, the quality aspect of the phone, what I did not know until somebody called me and said, Bongan, I heard you talking about this. He said, no, look at this. If the app, he says that the South African Police Service app, not only does it need to, this is the question that I wish the defense may cover or can cover. Not only does your app needs to meet the standard, the SAPS standard, South African Bureau standard, right? Not that aspect, it deals with the quality, right? Whether you are selling food, whether you are whatever you're doing, this department, they deal with the quality. Is it good enough? But what I did not know is that you need more than that. So that is what the defense will be asking, to say, okay, we move from the SAPS. Now we must go to the second one. If it passed the SAPS standard, that means it's a good quality. But it doesn't mean that it ends there. Is it regulated by ICASA? Because ICASA regulate communication, right? So once you understand that, okay, Steyn praises this app, but does this app meet the South African standard in that it meets the standards, the SAPS, as well as ICASA, because the app is a communication thing, so it needs to meet the ICASA regulation. So for Steyn to praise the app like he does, or like he's doing right now, he needs to substantiate if this thing, it meets such a standard. If he can't substantiate, then let's get somebody, or because he might say, no, I don't know if it meets such a standard. Then we might say, okay, wait, hold on. We can pause with you. Let's go get let's go get somebody from the South African Police Service who's gonna come and explain this. Does your app, the app system, the app that they are using, the app that is praising, does this app meet the required standard? Because Vodacom, MTN, Cell C, Telkom, and other forms of communication, the material that they used to produce, whether it's a podcast, remember, I said to you guys, I'm using how many cameras? This is camera number 1, right? This is camera number 2. All right, this is camera number 3. There are things that you don't know or you don't get to see here. But listen to this, the point that I'm demonstrating here, right? This camera and this camera and this camera, for it to be sold in South Africa, it needs to meet SAPS standard. That means the quality thereon is good enough. Then when it comes to me, who's going to use this system, not only am I using a product that meets the SAP standard, but then I myself, I must also comply with the ICASA, because this is a broadcasting material, right? Once you understand that, then you ask Steyn, we're here. You are praising your app, but does it meet these 2 criteria, right? That is where you will see that Steyn is lying. Another interesting thing that we need to see is, okay, we've already covered this. Why use the section 205 if you've got a sophisticated system, right? This third point will then lead to this thing. If your app is as powerful as you praise it, Vodacom does not know how the number got replaced. Vodacom has got 2 different numbers. I'm going somewhere. Hey, these are the questions that the defense, I wish they can ask. If Vodacom, if your app is powerful, listen to this one. Previously, the Vodacom expert told us that no, actually, our PDF cannot be tampered with. But remember that Vodacom complies with the laws. Telkom, MTN, or whatever, they comply with the law, right? That's why whatever they say, it is trusted. So that's why I said for Steyn to praise the SAPS system and make it look like it is superior than Vodacom, MTN, and Telkom and what all the networks LC. To make it superior, to make it look like it's superior than that, because it's able to track, to do this and this and this and this. Whereas the very same Steyn told us that he used something that is not even certified. That is a Truecaller. That Truecaller is not certified, guys. Like I told you how Truecaller is manipulated. So how do we know that whatever Steyn is telling us is actually quality approved, SAPS approved? How do we know that the app that Steyn is telling us about is actually ICASA approved, that is good for communication? How do we know? Because the very same Steyn told us that he used an app that we know it's not reliable, a Truecaller. Somebody saved my other channel, my other number, the one that started with the one that started with 081, is it 081? Yeah. He saved that number. 3 or 4 people saved that number as Tribe. Guess what? Truecaller recognized me as Tribe, but my name is not Tribe. You understand what I'm saying? So we already know how easily this app can be influenced. With that being said, so we can see that there's discrepancy in the app that Steyn used. To come to a conclusion, why does the defense even trust him when he says there's an app at the SAPS? Why are they not questioning the app itself? But look at that. I'm already proving to you that there is a chance that the app he used does not meet the standard. That's why the South African Police Service does not use the in-house app called their app, but rather they depend on the section 205, because that's the only thing that complies with the law, and that's the only thing that can be praised above anything else, because it complies with all the regulation that the country has. Why must we listen to Steyn, who is telling us about something that we don't even know whether it complies with all the laws and the regulation of this country? Once you have covered that, you also need to check this. It is the app that is praised that Vodacom says we don't know these numbers, but that same app that is being praised here, it is that same app that manipulated the numbers. If this app can be trusted, why did it manipulate the numbers and it replaced the numbers? It replaced the call of Atama Fokate with, remember that Vodacom knows that Atama Fokate, there was a communication between Kelly Komalo and Atama Fokate, but according to this app, there's no, it replaced such information. It replaces information such as Senzo Meyiwa's call. It replaced, I forgot what, it swapped the numbers. If this app is reliable, Why does it replace people's numbers? Why does it swap people's numbers? If this app, do you see now why I'm saying you need to check the quality of this app? You need to understand why this app. You need to check. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand why I'm questioning the app itself? Steyn cannot tell us about an app and make it look like it's glorious, it's super, what, when in an actual fact, guys, there's something quite interesting about this. Oh, Steyn comes to us and say, this is me showing you something that, hey baba, I'm showing you something. Steyn told us, he made a disclaimer that I was using an old system. 1999, I even wrote it down here, 1999 system. You need to ask Steyn. Now I'm going to show you something. To demonstrate this, I've got a laptop in front of me. So when I bought this laptop had Windows 10. When I bought this laptop, 2 months into it, the laptop says there's a new update. It updated itself to the latest Windows 10. Barely 2 months or what, it says there's a new update. It updated itself to Windows 11. Barely 3 months or so, there was another update within the Windows 11. I'm saying, now I'm going to show you something. I know I'm a bit stuttering, but please bear with me because I stutter because I get too excited. Now, what I've noticed with this, I'm trying to demonstrate something. What I've noticed with this, the more the system, the more you have, the more the system, the more you use the latest window, it's the more it comes with certain fixtures. Now, in the fixtures that it uses, one of the things that I saw personally, a friend of mine downloaded, 2 people that I know, in fact, they were able to download an app called Filmora. They were able to even use the app without purchasing the actual license. But because I'm using the new system, Windows 11, the system is so sophisticated that you can't bypass everything. If I have to pay money for me to use Filmora, I called expect, people who are known to say, you know what, they've cracked all the app and they were doing the most. But when it came to this Windows 11, the latest update, when I wanted to download the latest app, Filmora, it says no. They downloaded all the apps with Filmora from, Filmora 12, 11, 10, 9, all of them. The system was able to detect that I did not pay for the keys. And because of that, they will do anything. The app will only work for 5 minutes and then it shuts down. And then it says pay for the app. All the apps that I need to pay for, I can't use them on the Windows 11. I know maybe somebody might have found a way recently, but I told you 4 months ago, I'm telling you 4 months ago, I couldn't use that system except I pay. Why? Because the more you have a new system, it speaks of a compatibility. Now, here's a question that you need to ask about Steyn. Steyn, how were you able to use a 99 system? How was a 99 Windows compatible with latest things? This is the issue of compatibility. Steyn told us, and he makes us believe that, yeah, they did an incredible job with an old system. How were you able to do it when you are now using your, because now it talks about BlackBerry, that's a new system. How was the old system, Windows, compatible with the latest system? And the reason why you need to understand this technical language is because, and I'm going to show you this and demonstrate this to you. Every time when these people brings something new, what they create is what I call it a monopoly, right? I'll give a practical example about it. iPhone has got its own ecosystem. So in other words, you may buy something from a certain brand, but because it's not iPhone, it's not from iPhone, it might give you complications. It's a pity I don't have my headphones. I'll give you an example about it. I bought this phone, right? We're talking about ecosystem here. That every time when you buy something that is new, it is meant to support certain things. Why they want you to upgrade to those things. Now, we are going back. I want to explain the issue of 1999 Windows. Using it in 2020 doesn't make sense. 2021, it doesn't make sense. Now, when I bought this phone, one of the things that I struggled with, I went to Vodafone. I bought wireless headphones. Do you know that I had to take them back to other people who are using other phones except this phone? Those things was working very, very well. I remember I saw a person, I bought a earpath. It's called what? Earpath. Yeah, so where you plug this thing, it works wireless. I don't want to use the normal headphones, right? So it's called earpath, right? So I bought them, mind you, I bought them from a very reputable brand, Vodacom, where I will think that whatever I'm going to get here is quality. But because of the system, the new system, it is meant to accommodate. It is meant to accommodate certain things that are also expensive. Because the only app that I can use comfortably on this one, you are looking at 1,000 rand. I went to Samsung to check. You are looking at the cheapest is 1,000 rand that I can use on this thing. So the one that I was buying was around 800 rand. I think I started from 500 rand, 600 rand, 700 rand. All these things, it doesn't work good on this new system. So what I'm trying to say is that when they release something, they always create something that is more like a monopoly of some sort, in that it supports itself, so that it makes you, if you buy this product, it's going to make you want to buy the next product. That's how it is designed. It is designed to create this monopoly. That is why another perfect example. WhatsApp has started this thing of, they've been doing it. Every year, WhatsApp kicks out certain phones. I forgot this year, I read an article, phones that will no longer be compatible with the WhatsApp app. With that being said, even WhatsApp does that. iPhone has got their own ecosystem. Huawei has got their own ecosystem. Samsung has got their own ecosystem. In other words, the compatibility, you can't take a product of iPhone and use it on Samsung. You can't take a product of the latest product of Xiaomi and use it on Huawei. These things, they create an ecosystem and create more like a monopoly. Now, here's the thing. You are telling me that in your case, your system, the older version was compatible enough to use the newer version of things. There's something that doesn't add up there. If you use these things, if you use iPhone and you use these things, you'll understand what I'm trying to say. There's an ecosystem that every time when they release an update, whether on Windows or what, that Windows, the Windows that you will get, it will now be compatible with something that is also new. That's why you always need these updates, because it accommodates it. It creates this compatibility that, okay, this Windows 11, it now can accommodate this system and this system and this system, right? So in 1999, a system that was designed to be compatible for things that were happening in around 1999, probably 2000, you know what I'm saying? But now you are telling me that whether you've been using that thing far too long, even up to now. Guys, there's something that doesn't make sense on what the man is telling us here. There's something that doesn't make sense, and the defense needs to be hard at work and crack this man for us. There are things here that does not make any logical sense. You have to make it sense to me, but there are things here that doesn't make sense. Why? How is it that you are using a new system, an old system, to such an extent that is compatible to work with all the new systems? No, guys, you must go and take an old Windows and try and install something new, and you will see it will tell you update the Windows. I'm giving you a practical example. Take a 99 Windows, try and install Filmora 12, the latest version from Filmora, and let's see if it will be compatible. How is it that Steyn was using the latest apps on an old system? Unless there's something there. Remember that if it's for the state, you can't use it as you please. You must give it to the IT department of the state. There's some discrepancy here that needs to be interrogated. I'm aware that Steyn said that he received a program that was old, but he bought his own, right? But you must tell me, how did you do that? Because anything that belongs to the state, you can only give it to the state, and the state update it as they please, not you. How did they allow Steyn to take a system that belongs to the South African Police Service, because he's not the South African Police Service. He's a member, but he's not the South African Police Service. The IT department must be the one that updates the system and tell you that, okay, you can use this. Guys, this is a perfect example. If a state vehicle breaks down, look, even Mohola will tell you when that Fortuner breaks, look at the breakdown, they will tell you that they needed a mechanic from the system. Everything that you do here, it is from the South African Police Service hires its own people. That's when they lied and they said that they got a mechanic. Now we wanted a proof of that mechanic, and they couldn't do that. They couldn't produce a proof of that mechanic because they know the system says. They even said that under an exceptional circumstances you can call a mechanic, right? But you remember that they considered that the municipal law and government law doesn't allow you to just decide that, okay, I just want to update this thing and use my system on their system. Never. They don't allow that. How did Steyn ended up updating a system and using his own system on the laptop given by the state, system given by the state? Something doesn't make sense on what Steyn says here. I wish that defense can be hard at work. I wish that defense can ask real question here. Why, if your app is so powerful that it is praised over Vodacom system, how is it that your app, if it's that powerful, how did it replace the numbers? How did it change the numbers? Remember that Steyn then tells us that he removed himself from the situation. He says that it is the TSU, technical support unit, that that committed the fraud. It is a TSU that took this thing from Vodacom, and his responsibility, according to Steyn, his responsibility was to analyze an information given by the TSU. So in other words, you still need to open a case. If Steyn distances himself from this, he needs to explain all the things that I've just said now, which I'm not going to name. I'm not going to go back to that one. He needs to be asked all those questions, and once you have asked him all those questions, and then we need the department, the TSU, to come and explain who gave you the right to break down this information to such an extent that there was a replacement of numbers here. How is it that you trust a system that replaces numbers? We need an explanation from the TSU, technical support unit. We need an explanation from that. So the defense needs to be hard at work in making sure that they don't let Steyn go away, because right now what Steyn is doing is trying to intimidate them, so they don't ask him the necessary questions, so he just get away with everything. Right now Steyn hasn't said anything that defends the two numbers. So I also want the defense to be hard at work in that they need to get him to understand that we need an explanation about the two numbers. We need to know, he needs to concede, right, as to how does he understand that there's a change between the numbers, in that the two numbers that Vodacom doesn't have, they have, and he needs to explain that in his own words, right? He needs to explain it so that we can get him on his own words. When we get a person from the TSU unit, when they start explaining how their system works, we'll be able to tell who's lying. But I'm telling you, Steyn might be one of those people who are lying to us. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So the defense for me, because the nice thing about it is that these people are from the state, so I don't think they will need to pay for them because they are from the state. But the defense for me, they need to call this TSU unit somebody that understands the system there, who will come and explain. And the app that he says they are using, it's called AMB. This is the app that he says, according to their system, it then connected Kelly Kumalo and Fisogu Hlentuli, that they made calls. But according to Vodacom, there's no such a thing. Do you remember that? I told you there's something fishy that these people are trying to shove into our throats. But we're not going to accept that, because we have a mind of our own. We are able to see things that doesn't add up. We are able to see it from a distance, and we will not be pushed into a corner where we have to accept things that are untrue. This is untrue. We need an explanation as to why this discrepancy? Why is this thing happening the way it is happening? We need an explanation. The defense cannot sleep at work here. The defense needs to give us something. There's something. Steyn is running away, but he. Mngomezulu, I'm sorry, Mngomezulu has already done his job. Mnisi. I'm sorry, Ramsipil. Mnisi, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Get the man. You know what I'm saying? Continue to shake the man. Ngumal, prepare. Advocate Msholol. Aye, man. Come on, ma'am. Come on. Mamfundis, I'll prepare a lap. Mamfundis, prepare. I go now. We need this man. We need to bring down this man. Come on, man.